All right, this is video number 19 in the Red Flags of a Narcissist series. Video 19 is red flag number 19, which is parasitic existence. Narcissists, because they operate from this attitude of outrageous entitlement, blinding degree of selfishness, lack of empathy, lack of remorse. It's all about them all the time. Not a shocker to you, I am sure, right? So it's not uncommon for a lot of them to live what's called a parasitic existence. Narcissist, another name for narcissist is an emotional vampire. But really, it goes beyond just emotions. It's just vampiric habits in general. They suck more than just the life force out of people. They also, it's not uncommon for them to suck a person financially. They might even suck that person dry. I mean, I have heard some really just heart-wrenching stories about narcissists that have driven, they've stolen, they've drained their kids' college fund, they have drained their significant others' bank accounts, they have, due to gambling addiction or whatever, they've lost their home, they've lost their car, they've lost their job. They just destroy lives on so many different levels. It's really just heartbreaking. So the parasitic existence, like any of these other red flags, it's a spectrum, right? So for my situation, I dated two covert narcissists. The first one, and I mentioned this in another video, he, about 3 days or so before we were supposed to move in together, had called me and said that he'd gotten fired from his job for some sort of kind of nonsensical reason. Actually, I think he said he didn't even remember, or he didn't really even know why he got fired. He just got fired. He had his suspicions as to why he was fired, but no real proof. He was content to mooch off of me for a couple months before he finally got a job. Then come to find out he had done the same thing to his ex-wife. He had done the same thing, I'm guessing, to his ex-girlfriend in Germany. He had a pattern of this parasitic existence where he would just target women based on what they could give him. And he was looking generally for money. That was kind of his thing. He thought I had a lot more money than I do. So joke was on him, but that was kind of his goal. A lot of them, even if they do have money and they are maintaining a job, the victim often finds themselves still paying for things that maybe they shouldn't be paying for. They might be paying for, I used this example before too, alimony. I had a friend who was paying alimony for this narcissist's ex-wife, and he was a multimillionaire. He just didn't want to use all of his money to pay off his ex-wife. Ridiculous. So they latch on, and it's whatever they can do. And sometimes it's just in small ways. Sometimes the victim might find that even though she's making, a tenth of what he's making, or maybe even just a third or whatever of what he's making, that she's always paying for the vast majority of the bills. So there's kind of always this imbalance in finances and with money. It's this mentality, of course, it's the entitlement speaking, right? It's the what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine too. This is not uncommon. They leech off of their parents, oftentimes, their siblings, co-workers. They're asking for advances at work. They're doing, they're draining your money. They're draining your account. And oftentimes it's subtle. Okay. So that's important to note. A lot of these signs are, again, because they're on that whole spectrum, they're not necessarily so easy to see. Again, with my first narcissist, Jack, it didn't really register as a huge problem. I really believed him when he said he got fired from his job. I really thought, wow, it's really unfortunate timing. So we were gonna move in together, and we were gonna have all these expenses, and I guess I'm gonna have to pay for him, because he'd had a habit of being not only employed, but being a really hard worker. So that level of parasitic existence didn't fit the person that I knew. Okay. But the reality is, like everything else, there's a mask that they wear, right? And so that mask that he was wearing was of, I'm a really hard worker, which he would work really hard. My guess is, based on what I know about him, he'd work really hard till he lined up a source of supply who had more than what he had. And really, he had nothing. He was in his early 40s, reckless. He was reckless in everything he did. Unprotected sex. It was, children, multiple children by multiple partners. It was, reckless driving. His finances were a hot mess. He was bouncing checks right and left. And he just truly didn't care. Like, he did not care. And I guess, he didn't care because he never had accountability for it. He never had responsibility. It was always other people that were having to pick up the mess that he left. So, and then again, I've met women too that have, they've moved their narcissist into their home, and now this guy is totally changed. He's done like a 180. Maybe he's really extreme. Maybe he's very abusive now, either verbally or emotionally or physically. They can't get this guy to leave, and he has just he's a parasite, and they just can't get him to leave. Or the clever narcissist will do something to where they've arranged it to where the victim is somehow paying for everything, but the victim is in this position where they really can't leave. So maybe the narcissist is taking all the victim's money, but the narcissist is the only person on the lease, right? Or on the mortgage. So the victim financially can't up and leave. They're trapped. This is actually, when I was working at the domestic violence shelter, this was at the time, and I bet it's still probably true, the number one reason that, statistically speaking, that women did not or were not able to leave their abuser was due to finances, financial control. That is a huge, huge, huge red flag. So, and it's one of the ones that kind of comes on early on, because they rush that intimacy. They want to move in together right away. They're quick to combine finances. They're quick to want to get married. And of course, the victim is mistaking all of this as, this whirlwind fairy tale romance, that they're so in love. And the reality is this is like a huge, huge red flag. Normal, healthy adults do not move this fast. And the reality is it takes time to really get to know a person and determine if you are compatible, right? But it's that parasitic existence. They drain the finances, and it's another way of isolating the victim. So isolating the victim, it can be obviously done physically, or they're moving you out to the country, or they're moving you to a different city or state from your friends and family. But it can also be done financially, to where you have no money. So you're just kind of isolated. I have known women who have worked 2 or 3 jobs, and the narcissist, they're so living in such fear of this person that, he has total control over their money. Maybe he's not even working. They might even be working 3 jobs. I've seen this before too, where they're working 3 jobs. He's not working at all. He's totally mooching off of them. She is terrified to leave. She's afraid he's gonna hurt her. He's gonna kill her. He's gonna kill the kids. He's gonna do something outrageous. And so she just feels very trapped. Really, the moral of the story here, like what you can do, and I highly recommend that everybody do, have a bank account in your own name. This is part of a good safety plan. So when you're planning to leave, open up an account in your own name. Do not put this person on your account. Start slowly trying to get money into this account. So, because domestic violence, and I'm hesitant to even use that word, because people think domestic violence, they think physical, they think horrible physical abuse. They don't think necessarily anything outside of that. But if you're any type of like manipulated or manipulative relationship, get your own account, slowly start moving funds in there, slowly start planning on how to separate yourself. Do not tell him about this other account. Do not tell anybody about this other account. Do not, do not give the bank information. Do not give them your address. Do not have them mail anything account-wise to your home. This account is very important that it remains hidden, so he can't drain it. So you kind of have that backup if you do. Hopefully, when you do plan to leave, that you can actually have these funds available to leave. A lot of victims too, because so what I was saying, this narcissistic relationship, domestic violence relationships too, they all run this cycle. So there's always kind of this breakup period, right? And then during that breakup period, the victim's like, I'm done, I'm leaving. But then the narcissist comes back. It's called hoovering. any manipulative person does this, a domestic violence situation or not, they come back with promises of future faking where things are going to be better. They're going to go into rehab. They're going to throw away their porn. They're going to quit seeing other women. They're going to do all these things. And the victim lets her guard down. She really wants to believe this. Maybe he even changes for a brief period of time. And then her sense of urgency of taking these steps to open up another account or keeping the other account private. She might decide to totally open up to him and say, oh, I'm so glad you're changing. I had this other account, but now I don't need it. You really have to put yourself first. You have to just be on both the offense and the defense when it comes to these people. They're highly manipulated. They are highly manipulative people. And, they never change. So you're going to keep going through that cycle over and over and over and over and over again, really until they either leave you permanently, you end up leaving them permanently, or you're killed. Those are kind of the three ways that people get out of them. So, and I would say 9 times out of 10, it's more the victim either leaves permanently. And of course, that could be just my experience talking with the domestic violence shelter, or they're killed. And I want to say it's something like 30% of all homicides are domestic violence related. So they are partner to partner. Something to take seriously. Parasitic existence, watch out for adults that expect you to take care of them. It's not healthy, it's not normal, it's not right. It can be a huge red flag that you're in an abusive relationship. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, frustrations, ideas for videos, you want to share your story, you want to share part of your story, let me know. You just want to say hi, let me know. Would love to hear from you guys. And I'll put my contact info down below in the description. Narcissistsupport.com is my website. Facebook group, it's a support group of fantastic people that are willing to listen to you and be open. We don't judge. There is no shame. There is no embarrassment. I guarantee whatever you're going through, personally, I've probably heard before. And a lot of these people that are in the support group are just really solid people, and they've really been through a lot as well. So if you think that might help you, please join. It's again down below. My group is also called Narcissist Support, and I hope to see you soon. If you would please, if you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please spread the word. I really would love to get all of these red flags out to as many people as possible, and hopefully prevent as much narcissistic abuse as humanly possible. That would be fantastic and would make my heart smile. So let's see what we can do, and I will see you soon. Video number 20 is up, and that is focus on the military, religion, spirituality, advanced degrees, and or stealing other people's stories. That is red flag number 20. Okay, thanks. Bye.